you know, Broner got the win like he was supposed to. But the question I have is, were you really impressed? Now, I'm glad that he's the second youngest fighter to ever win a championship in 4 different divisions. You know, he's been a champion at 147, now 140, 135, 130. The only other person to ever do it at such an earlier age was Oscar De La Hoya. But when you look at what's ahead for Adrien Broner as far as who he may or may not fight, and when you look at the performance today, he may be talking the humble talk, and we're going to listen to his post-fight interview with Jim Gray. It's a little long. He may be talking the humble talk, but still, I want to see him again. I want to see him with more foot movement. And don't get me wrong, I'm like, the stoppage was impressive. He did look impressive to the level of competition that he fought. But when you really think about it, can he beat a guy like Jose Benavidez? We're going to talk about that. Can he beat a Victor Postol? Can he beat, even though Lucas Matisse quit or gotten whatever the fuck happened tonight with Lucas Matisse? Even if he fought Lucas Matisse, you know, could he beat a pressure fighter? Could he beat a Ruslan Provodnikov? And even if you ask yourself those questions, ask yourself the questions of, well, who would he fight? You know, now, okay, I tell you what, I am T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live, and I cover every single major fight live. So let's see if Adrien Broner has grown a little bit. We're going to listen to his post-fight interview. It's a little long, but as you know, they're always usually entertaining. T Street Controversy. Please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy. Follow me on Instagram at T Street Controversy. All my social media links are right below. Please subscribe.
Much. First, let's give an update. Dr. Bern Reynolds just examined Khabib. He said he's quite a soldier. He's going to be all right. He's going to need some significant stitches underneath his left eye, but other than that, he should be fine. With that, we turn to you, Adrien. Congratulations on your 4th title.
I'm motherfucking tired. Nah, though, man. You know, first of all, man, I gotta thank God, man. I gotta thank, you know, my big brother, my uncle, my mentor, Al Heyman, you know, Andrew Williams, my new promotional company, the whole staff of About Billions. And you know I gotta thanks my hometown, Cincinnati, Ohio.
How much did you rededicate yourself to your craft and come out as a different fighter tonight, knowing the consequences of another loss, should that have happened?
Honestly, a young guy like me, and they just threw me. They threw me a lot of cash. They threw me a lot of cash at a young age. It was hard to adjust to the thing, to the name, you know, to the lights. But you know, after my last fight, I was just like, I ain't leaving out the ring, and I ain't putting my all into it.
What gave you the realization that it was too much too soon, and how did you get it under control?
Losing to guys like Shawn Porter. No disrespect. No disrespect. I respect Shawn Porter. He's a wonderful fighter, a world-class fighter. But at the end of the day, when Adrien Broner on this shit, a fly can't be around me.
So do you feel it's all up to you going forward, and that perhaps you've been your own worst enemy in the past, but now
Cursing in front of his mom.
In the future, it's all on you to determine what that future is?
Yes, sir. And excuse my language. You know I get emotional at times.
I understand.
But, you know, it's definitely all up to me. Because after that bell ring, can't nobody help me. Can't nobody jump in for me. You know, it's all up to me and that opponent. So, it's definitely up to me.
So how will you handle the fame now? How will you handle the fortune going forward with the lessons of the past?
Like I said before, man, I'm still AB, About Billions, always balling. You know, but this next half,
it gets more interesting.
I'm going to be about boxing, I'm going to be about business.
Will this be the weight class? Are you most comfortable at 140 now? And that's drawing cheers. I mean, that's something you haven't heard too often.
Nothing have changed. You know, I'm comfortable at whatever weight my opponent is comfortable at. But I'm getting wiser, I'm getting older now. I was too tough, you know, because I'm from the hood. So any fight they approach me with, I just automatically took. Ain't no more of that no more.
So what would you like to do next if you've thought about it?
I'm going to fight who I want to fight and when I want to fight them.
Any names?
Yeah, well, you know, hold on, let me take my glasses out, mama. Come on, mama, take my...
Told you it's going to be a little long.
So they can see my eyes. You know, they say...
Keep it good. You're doing well. Keep it
they say my big bro, the one, the only, Floyd Mayweather, you know, he say he got a fighter that he feels like he can beat me. And if he feel like that's true, and, you know, I look at it like he's only living up to TMT, you know, he's theoretically Mayweather thinking, you know what I'm saying? But
who's the fighter?
I think his name is Ashley. But if that is true, this what you do. This what you do, big bro, because bosses talk to bosses. You put Ashley on one of your private jets, bring him to come see me, and I bet I bring the girl out of that boy like Bruce Jenner.
And with that, we'll say congratulations on your 4th title.
Wait, we don't want to cut him off yet. Let's let him wrap it up.
You know.
Thank you. All right.
You know, thank everybody, man. Thank everybody watching, man.
Got it. All right, well, back to you.
You know, like I said, you know, when I look at the 140-pound division, I look at the number 1 fighter right now, even though, you know, he has the WBO title and it's his first fight actually being, you know, mainstream at 140, Terrence Crawford. I think, what is Adrien Broner in? What is Adrien Broner doing in the 140-pound division? Is it just to be a champion, or is it to be the champion? Now, we should know that it's not up to him. We should know that it's up to the big guy, Al Heyman. Thank you, Al Heyman. But when you look at who Adrien Broner, you know, will likely be fighting, for example, big fights for him that I don't want to see is maybe him against Omar Figueroa. We know Omar Figueroa is at 140 pounds right now. His style would be a style that would give Adrien Broner some problems. I'm not saying he would beat Adrien Broner, but we know a pressure fighter like that, and a guy who will throw about 1,000 or so punches in Omar Figueroa. We know his defense is suspect. He's the type of guy that can give Adrien Broner some problems. We got Jose Benavidez, but Jose Benavidez is a top-ranked fighter. Jose Benavidez, here's an interesting situation. Jose Benavidez, remember, he's the guy who fought Mauricio Herrera in that fight after Mauricio Herrera had fought Johan Perez, and before that he fought Danny Garcia. But Jose Benavidez was basically a guy who thought, well, who a lot of fans felt should have lost to Mauricio Herrera, but he ended up winning the WBA interim championship from Mauricio Herrera. This fight that Adrien Broner won, Allakhverdiev and Jesse Vargas fought for, and Jesse Vargas was the champion at the time, if I'm correct, and Danny Garcia was listed, and well, Danny Garcia was the last WBA Super World Champion. So here you have a guy, and I know I'm getting a little confusing, but here you have a guy in Jose Benavidez who, in my opinion, should have been elevated to the world champion, but somehow with Al Heyman and the maneuvering, they got Adrien Broner a title shot after he lost to Shawn Porter in a total different division, got him a title shot for a vacant belt. So the question I'm asking is this: is the WBA going to make Jose Benavidez versus Adrien Broner for the WBA Super World title? You get what I'm saying? So, you know, but I don't, but with the way the WBA rankings are, and you need to go look at the WBA rankings at a website called fightnews.com. Just type in WBA rankings in your Google. Go to fightnews.com. Even the WBA doesn't have it as up. The WBA website themselves doesn't have it as up to date as the Fight News website does. So go to the WBA, rankings on fightnews.com and look at the fighters that are in the 140-pound division, and I guarantee you most of them you don't even know their names. I would like to see an Adrien Broner versus Lamont Peterson, but I don't think I don't think Lamont Peterson is going to be fighting at 140 pounds anymore. I would like to see an Adrien Broner versus a Victor Postol. Victor Postol won earlier tonight against Lucas Martin Matisse in the biggest upset of the year, and one of the biggest upsets in boxing over the last several years, when Lucas Matisse was on his way to a likely Manny Pacquiao fight. But will we be able to see a Adrien Broner versus a Victor Postol? No, because Adrien Broner is an Al Heyman fighter. Victor Postol is a top-ranked fighter. Also, they have two different belts for two different divisions that don't really, make mandatories with each other. So I just don't. I like the fact that Adrien Broner has won a world title, but hearing him saying that he's going to fight whoever he wants, and hearing him say that seeing the fact that he's in an organization that will allow him to fight whoever he wants, it's just like, well, we can expect for Adrien Broner to not be really testing himself in the future going forward. And that's just something to really, really, really stick into our heads to think, well, damn, he's a four-time division. I mean, he's a four-division champion now. He's a WBA world champion. But will he be fighting the best? Or is it now all about the money? Because if he takes another loss, his paycheck is going to decrease. For example, for this Allakhverdiev fight, he made less money than he made for the Shawn Porter fight. So he did take some type of pay decrease. So imagine if he was to lose to a fighter by the level of Allakhverdiev. This is why this was the biggest fight of his career, because he would have took another pay cut, and then he would have been along the status of, like, as people keep saying or comparing him to, like a Zab Judah type fighter. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Follow me on Twitter at T Street Controversy. All my social media links are right below. Heavily active Facebook page. It's the very last link in the description box. It's my personal Facebook page. It's a boxing forum. And T Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe.